いやあ、リカちゃんが日曜日以外に診療所にいらっしゃるなんて珍しいですね。
高野とお話ししたいことがありますのです。今日はいますですか？
Oh, right. Rika's like, well, people started remembering what happened last in the other worlds. I might as well see if Takano is willing to help. Maybe. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Also, there's like a little alligator or something there in the background. Here, let me bring it up on screen. One sec. What the hell is this thing? I... Anyway. It's so stupid.
いえ、多分リサさんとデートじゃないでしょうか。いやいや、お羨ましい。
Risa. Have we heard that name before? I don't think so.
どうしてリサなのですか？よくわからない名前なのです。
それは本人に聞いてみてください。
Risa.
初対面の時のちょっとした認識ミスなんですがね。その時の先方の対応がとても面白かったもので。
I don't get it. That's what nicknames are all about, though.
どんなご用件ですか？伝言でよければ今夜ミーティングがありますから、その席上で伝えておきますよ。
ありがとうなのです。でも直接言いますのでいいのですよ。
そうですか。わかりました。では私は書類事務に戻ります。
今日は入江は診察はしていないですか？
今夜のミーティングの資料作りで大忙しです。普段から準備はしているんですがね、日々の本業に圧迫されてなかなか時間がなんていうと、準備がなってないと怒られてしまいますね。
それに加えて野球までやっているのですから、つくづく入江は元気だなと思いますです。
本当に忙しいですよ。家事や秘書を代行してくれる可愛いメイドさんを常時募集中なのですが、なかなか応募がありません。
He laughed and looked at his watch. He seemed to be in a hurry.
高野たちはどこへ行っているか想像はつきますですか？
村の中をいろいろと回るだろうと思います。ああ、でもいつも待ち合わせは神社の境内なんだそうですよ。高野さんは半ドンで帰られましたから、ひょっとするとまだ境内にいるかもしれませんね。
I looked at the clock on the wall. I must have just missed her. This was no time to be chatting with
あ
Irie.
りがとうなのですよ。神社に戻ってみますです。
年に4度しかない仰せなんですから、あまり邪魔をしない方がいいと思いますよ。
He smiled mischievously and waved his hand in goodbye. Really? Eh? I headed back I headed back to the shrine. I was going to park my bike by the stairs that lead to the shrine grounds. Satoko and I are the only people who park our bikes there normally, but I saw more than 10 bikes there today. People must be gathering at the convention room. There are more and more meetings when the Watanagashi festival draws closer. Seeing all these bikes reminded me that summer is nearly here. Most of our bikes were old and beat up. However, I saw two unfamiliar ones parked there. They were sporty mountain bikes with the same design but different colors. They must belong to Takano and Tomitake. I went up to the stairs to look for the two of them, but I couldn't find either. Was there any place with a great view for taking pictures? Yeah, you know of one. I tried looking in places like that, but I still couldn't find them. So I started looking based on what Takano might be interested in. I could only think of one place. Yeah, the storage shed. There they are.
次郎さん。
うん。シンプルなタイプだと思うよ。道具があれば多分1分とかからないよ。
さすがね。次郎さんが得意なのは心の奥の錠前外しだけじゃないのね。
See, I always thought that they were dating, but I don't think it had ever been, like, explicitly said. Now, this is not to, like, I don't know, diminish or sorry, not diminish, dismiss my reading comprehension, right? But for the most part, I thought they were either just fucking or like really really good friends. Mainly because they never like flirted with each other or anything like that for the most part. But I guess now it's like, you know, quote unquote confirmed.
たたりじゃ
The two of them jumped in surprise as I suddenly appeared in front of them.
あら、リカちゃん、こんにちは。急に脅かすなんて人が悪いわね。
開かずの細工殿の鍵を開けちゃおうとする人の方がもっと悪いのです。
あダメだよ高野さん。やっぱり悪いことはするもんじゃないよ。
Tomitake conceded right away, but Takano was stubborn. She made up excuses to try and fool me. Based on my previous lives, I knew just how much interest she had in the storehouse. It was actually rather impressive how hard she tried to cover that up. The ritual storehouse is full of the remainder of the dark history of Onigashiki. It contains bloody and vicious tools that Takano is fascinated with. She should have a good idea as to what those things are inside of this storehouse based on what she has been researching. She was making up some story about cultural treasures and such, but it's obvious that she was just making excuses. God. Tomitake also seemed impressed listening to Takano's phony justifications. In the past, I've tried to conceal what was inside of this storehouse from Takano because I don't want her spreading information about the holy and brutal traditions they used to have in Onigashiki village. It would be a disgrace. As a member of the Furuta family, I can't let that happen. Looking at the history of Onigashiki in the way Takano does is a painful thing for Hanyu as well. For Hanyu, the ritual storehouse is a special place. I don't know what's so nice about being surrounded by those scary ritual tools, but she feels cozy when she's surrounded by the smell of old times. The storage is like Hanyu's hideout. When I can't see her, she's usually relaxing in here. I don't want Hanyu's happy place to be turned into the bloody, horrifying den of evil Takano believes it to be. That's why I've been keeping Takano away from the ritual storehouse. Come to think of it, why am I so mean to her? Is it because I hate her? I should stop feeling that way. I have to keep in close contact with Takano and Tomitake. I won't give up just because it didn't work before. I'm going to try one more time. This world is different from the other ones. I might be able to change their fate, which in turn might change my own.
羽生、高野に細工殿の中を見せてあげようと思うの。
Hanyu made an irritated face. Takano will lose herself in ecstasy if she sees what's inside of there. She'll run around spreading rumors of the bloody history of Onigashiki. Hanyu wasn't too excited about that prospect.
高野にごまをするわけじゃない。でも話を聞いてもらうきっかけにはなるんじゃないかと思うの。高野は根に持つから、ここで意地悪をすると、私の話をちゃんと聞いてくれないかもしれない。
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, what if them seeing the storehouse today and doing whatever it is that they need to result in them not dying tomorrow, or you know, when the Watanagashi comes through or comes back. I understand that Hanyu doesn't want her inside this holy place, but she can't do anything more than be irritated about it. I'm the only one who can make the ultimate decision. Besides, she'll forgive me if I promise to eat something sweet later.
高野、もしも約束を守ってくれるのでしたら、中に入れてあげてもいいのですよ。
本当に？細具殿の中よ。中は中でも防災倉庫の中とかはなしよ。
本当ですよ。ちゃんと細具殿の中なのですよ。
細具殿ってここよ。この建物の中なのよ。
Rika should just point and be like, you can go inside of this place right now.
別にごまかす気はありませんですよ。ちゃんとこの中に入れてあげますです。みぱー。にぱ
The fuck? Nipa. So dumb. I'd never seen such a big smile on her face before. Now this is a miracle. Now this is a miracle. I'm seeing this face for the first time in 100 years. I'm gonna assume, you know, if we zoom in, or sorry, if we change, okay. I thought maybe Takano would have been like, you know, right up in our faces. Tomitake must be feeling the same way. His image of Takano was slowly falling apart as we spoke, I'm sure. No, maybe he just found a new side of her to love instead.
高野って結構面白い人だったのでびっくりなのです。やっぱりコミュニケーションって大事ね。人を知るのってつくづく難しいと思い知るわ。
We remained there and watched Takano spinning in delight for a while.
中には内緒で入れるのですから他の人に見つかってはいけませんですよ。
ああ、そうだよね。高野さんを正気に戻しておくよ。
僕はその間に鍵を持ってきますです。
By the time I came back with the key, Takano was totally calm again. She was obviously trying to hide how gleeful she was, though. I thought she was a mature lady, but she might still be a kid at heart. I think they call that something like gapmoy. I picked up that term at some point from Keiichi, but I'm still not sure how it's used. That's pretty funny. God, what the fuck was gapmoy again? In hell. Basically, it's like a character, like an anime character, who looks different than the way they really are. Something like that. And then it usually, you know, surprises you. So, you know, if someone's like really tough, or if they're really mean, and then you see like a soft side to them, right? They like, you know, you see them like help a kitten, even though it's like the school bully, right? Like that's basically like what gapmoy is. Anyway.
では高野、富武、中に入る前にいくつか約束がありますです。ちゃんと誓ってくれないとダメなのです。
もちろんよ。開かずの西宮殿を古出家当主が自ら開けてくれる金を犯すのだもの。約束は守るわ。
She's so excited.
ダメだよ、高野さん。ちゃんと真面目にやらなきゃ。
失礼ね。私はとても真面目よ。
僕の中の高野のイメージが今大変なことになっていますのです。私もよ。高野の株価が世界恐慌で大暴落って感じ。
Rena said it before. It's not a good idea to think about our problems all on your own. It's not a good idea to think about problems all on your own. I always hated the crazy part of Takano, and I didn't want to be close to her. But I never thought she could act this way. She was acting almost like Rena does when in her cute mode. Had I known that she was as funny a person as this, I wouldn't have felt resentment towards her. I realized how important communicating can be.
まず、西宮殿へ入ったことは内緒なのですよ。誰にも教えてはいけませんです。
もちろんよ。誓うわ。
Takano put her hands to her chest. She also forced Tomitake to do the same. It was funny to watch Tomitake trying to keep up with Takano too.
中はとても大切な場所ですから、怪我したり傷つけたりしちゃダメなのです。
もちろん分かってるわ。それで撮影は可能なの？
可能ですが、1枚100円なのですよ。
次郎さん、あなた今いくら持ってるかしら
？1万円払うとお得な1日取り放題券になりますです。
If I recall, like when we went in here the first time, she was like snapping pics like crazy.
安い。払うわ。次郎さん。
They paid me the money for real. Hanyu seemed excited knowing that the money could be used for buying desserts.
はとてもいい人なのです。あんたも現金ね。
I finally got approval from Oyashiro-sama, the master of the storehouse. We'd have no more problems now. The ritual storehouse is behind the building with a convention room. Sometimes people come out for a cigarette break. I can't let anybody see us entering.
大丈夫。誰もいないよ。
Tomidake checked out the scene and gave me the signal to go ahead. I nodded at him and unlocked the door. I pushed open the heavy door just far enough for us to sneak
富
inside.
武が表で待っていると不審に思われますです。
僕も入るのかい？
He seemed surprised that I was asking him to come inside with us. Tomidake, of course, wasn't particularly interested in what was inside of the storehouse. I expected a surprised reaction.
二郎さん、リカちゃんが入れって言ってるのよ。早く入って。
ああ、わかったよ。
Tomidake squeezed inside as Takano urged him. I turned the light on and closed the door. Then I put a hold on. I turned the light on and closed the door. Then I put the chain on from inside.
厳重なのね。
錠前が外れていることに気づいた悪い猫さんが入ってくると困りますのです。
悪い猫さんで申し訳ないわね。
Like bad or evil cat. Yeah.
高野、猫は猫らしくニャーニャー鳴かないとダメなのですよ。
Mm.
ニパ
それはどういうことかしら？
Also, before anything, I don't think we've seen this background before. I think this one is completely new. Either that or this is the one from the storeroom where we fought Rena last chapter. Yeah, we've never seen this background before, I'm pretty sure. But this one, I believe, is the one from the school at the very end of the, during the final chapter. And the other weird thing is this. Like, what is this supposed to be? It looks like kind of like a popcorn machine, maybe? Either that or it's a box. It could literally be a box of like mangoes or something. And it's just being used for storage. Anyway.
高野がちゃんと猫さんじゃないと見せてあげないのです。ちゃんと鈴付き首輪と猫耳も持ってきましたですよ。
Huh?
これをつけて四つん這いになってニャーニャー言ってくれなかったら次の扉を開けてあげませんです。
Huh? The shrine storehouse has two doors so that people can't see inside when the first door is open. At that moment, we were inside the entry chamber. The real storehouse is in the room beyond. Right, in the antechamber.
リカちゃんもきついな。いくらなんでもそんなの。
ええ、それが試練ならやるわ。これはリカちゃんが私の知的探求心がどれだけ一途で高貴か試しているのよ。いいわ。あなたが望むなら猫耳と尻尾付きで四つん這いになって前足で顔を洗いながらご主人様大好きだにゃーだって言ってみせる。
Huh?
高野ってみんなと同じくらいの年だったらきっと部活メンバーに混じっていたと思いますのです。
That's pretty cute.
そうね。ほら、世界恐慌の時ウォール街で紙切れになった株券が雪のように舞ったというじゃない。なんかそういう感じよ、高野の株。
さあさあリカちゃん、やり遂げてみせるわよ。猫耳と首輪だけでいいの？
高野さん、そもそもこの扉鍵なんかないよ。ほら、押せば開く。
そうなの？あら嫌だ。私ったらみっともない。
Tomidake has no sense of humor. He just turned off a lot of viewers who were looking forward to seeing Takano in a cat outfit.
と冗談はこのくらいにして
Oh my god.
押せば開きますのです。 ニパー。
Okay. Once we went through the door, we found ourselves inside the storage area. There were no windows in there, so it was completely dark even during the day. There were several light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, but they were dim, and their light only exaggerated the darkness inside. Oyashiro-sama's statue and the altar dominated the center of the room. They were surrounded by tons of ancient torture implements. Also, hey Fisty, thanks for stopping by over on the kick side. They were all over the floors, walls, and ceilings. It looked like a torture room rather than just storage for tools intended for one. Now, I'm pretty sure we've seen this image as well, or at least this background. But just in case. And then the console version. This should be, yeah. Because it looks completely different in the console version, which we've seen a few times before, right? And like the first time we came in here was during Nagashi, if I recall. I don't remember us coming in here during Onikakshi. But yeah, you can see like just all the old torture equipment. You can see the cages hanging from above, all the tools on the wall, the man catcher that's somewhere in there, Oyashiro-sama's statue, even though we know Oyashiro-sama is supposed to be a woman, the fucking table for restraining people. God damn, there's so much crazy shit in this. Anyway, comparing that again to the original background, it looks so much different. Like here, this just looks like, I don't know, imagine like a caved-in basement. Anyway.
これはすごいね。
Tomitake was rendered speechless. They were nothing like those fake torture implements that they might have seen in a wax museum or someplace like that. The tools in this room are the genuine articles. I never like to think about it, but I'm sure some of them really were used. These authentic tools always had a big impact on the people who see them. But Tomitake was the only one who was shocked, since he was the only normal person in the room. Takano's eyes were sparkling. She was taking pictures while meowing like a cat. Huh? This place isn't special to me. Of course I know I'm supposed to treat it as a holy place, but I'm so used to seeing all these things after coming here countless times since I was little. To me, it's nothing but a storehouse with a lot of old stuff inside. As for Hanyu, she says it's the only place the air from times past lingers in this present day, so she actually finds it comforting. I get in a good mood when I come here, because Hanyu gets in a good mood. This is a relaxing place for her. As I watched Tomitake's reaction, I noticed how totally off my values are from normal people's. Takano's reaction seemed more natural to me, in a sense. Hanyu seemed to be bothered by Tomitake's reaction too. Maybe it was a bad idea to let them come inside after all. Not like I could kick them out at this point. Hanyu and I sat on the cushion in front of the altar and watched Takano dance with childish glee while Tomitake made touching efforts to keep up.
どうしてこんなにもたくさんの拷問道具を作ったんだろうね。だって拷問というのは相手を屈服させるのが目的じゃないのかい？こんなにいくつもおびただしい数や種類がどうして必要だったんだろう。
I wonder if Takano's
ジロ
gonna
ーさ
answer.
ん、拷問道具には2つの脅し方があるのを知ってるかしら？一つは使用して相手を痛めつけることで効果を発揮するもの。もう一つは使用するぞ。使用したらものすごい痛いぞ。そういう意味ではいろいろ物騒な拷問道具がたくさん取り揃えてある光景はそれだけで脅迫的意味を持つものだったのよ。
You can let their imagination wander at that point, and that will, force them to submit.
確かに拷問というのは実は高度な技術が必要だというような話は聞いたことがあるよ。程よく痛めつけてかつ殺さないというのは確かに加減が難しいことかもしれないね。
Tomitake acted like he was having a conversation with Takano, but his voice was obviously unsteady.
西洋の拷問道具の中にはやたらと装飾型で 実際に使用すれば痛めつける以前にあっさりと殺してしまいかねない。ある意味拷問道具としては構造欠陥のあるものが少なくないのよ。まあ拷問道具も厳密には屈服を目的とする被験者を対象にした純粋な拷問道具と、これを混同して誤解している人が多いのが嘆かわしいわね。
いや、じゃあ話を戻すけど、これらの拷問道具で昔の人たちは何を屈服させようとしていたんだい？
Tomidake asked me that. He must have thought that Takano would say something far more scary if he asked her. He's forgetting that I'm just a little innocent girl.
私は鬼ヶ淵村の独自の戒律を厳重に守らせるためだったと思ってるんだけど、正解？
正解なのです。これらの細具は実際に使用するためでなく、むしろ展示して村人を怖がらせて戒律を遵守させることを主眼に置いたものだと言われてますです。だから実際にこれらの道具を使う時になってサイズが合わなかったり構造的に欠陥があったりで満足に使用できなかったという話も結構残っていますのです。
でも実際に使用することもあったんだろう？やっぱり穏便な話じゃないね。
戒律を守らないとお社様のたたりがあるだけではおとなしくルールに従ってくれない人たちもたまにはいたということなのです。
ねえリカちゃん、ではこれらの道具は基本的に村人を威圧するために用意されているのかしら？本当の意味での綿流しの時、食人の宴に使った調理解体道具だっていう説があるんだけど。
Hanyu was making a frustrated face. She didn't want to remember the dark history of Onigafchi village. People performed countless torture ceremonies in front of her, claiming that they were doing it in her name, the name of Oyashiro-sama. She asked them not to do that, but no one was able to hear or see her.
ノーコメントなのですよ、ニパー。
高野さんによく僕も聞かされるよ。大昔の鬼ヶ淵村の人たちは神様のお告げがあると麓に降りて人をさらって食べてしまったんだろう。どうしてそんなことをしたんだろう。これもまた麓の人々に対する何かの見せしめなのかい？
私はそこはおそらく食物連鎖で人間よりも優位にあることを自覚するためにやった一種の儀式だと思っているわ。鬼が汚らわしい人間と交流すると汚れを持ち込む、そういうふうに言われていた。だから定期的に自分たちは人間以上の存在であることを自覚し直す必要があったんじゃないかしら。
Right. So all of this is like new, or sorry, it's not new information. Like we've already been told a lot of this before. We've heard Takano's theories, about how the villagers were, those that actually had ogre blood, and because they had ogre blood, they were quote unquote superior to a lot of the humans below the mountain or at the base of the mountain, and because of that, they would kidnap them. They would perform the Tatarigoroshi. They would perform the Watanagashi. And then by performing the Watanagashi, the person would be tortured in front of a bunch of people. They would be dissected in a way that would result in them being alive. And then the villagers would consume the organs of the individual being tortured. Now, we've heard this theory before, right? We've heard this quite a few times. So let's see if Rika confirms or denies any of this. But apparently, it used to happen if Hanyu fucking hated it. At least we know that, that they used to torture people with the tools in the room. So we know that much is at least legit. I mean, I understand some of them being fake, because it makes sense, right? If you've got like some giant, like imagine some giant machete that like opens up or something, like that thing's definitely like not gonna get used, right? They're not gonna like hold it and then like bring it down on you and chop your arm off. They might they might have someone strapped to a table and then tell them something like, well, if you don't talk or if you don't do this, we're just gonna drop this on you and cut you in half right now, right? And it's like, there's no real practical use for it. Or even if we look at some of the ones that were back here with the console background, oh well, actually now they're in the way. But behind Takano, like that like wheel grinder, or it's more not a grinder, sorry. It's like it looks more like a tool used for sharpening. And then the other like table next to her looked kind of awkward for actually torturing people, but then again, it could just be whoever did the art. But either way.
日本にも晒し首があったしね。見せしめは非人道的ではあるけど、抑止効果は極めて大だったというわけだ。
This I actually did not know. I did not know that Japan used to have heads on spikes or on pikes. I thought that was mostly like a tribal thing, or at least like a jungle tribal thing. Either in places like South Saharan Africa, or the Americas. I thought that's mainly where they used heads on pikes, but I guess Japan did it too.
見せしめの犠牲者がひどい方法で拷問されて生きながら食われて絶命する。そんなのを見せつけられたら絶対に自分はああされたくないって誰もが思うわよね。日本には晒し首だけでなく貼り付けだってあったでしょ。処刑場に高々と死刑囚を貼り付けにして観衆の前で恥ずかしめられながら長槍でブスブスと刺されるのよ。二郎さんもわかると思うけど、槍でほんの一月二月された程度じゃ人腹部や胸部を貫かれればそれは十分に致死的なことではあるけれど、ギロチンなんかのようにきれいさっぱり死ねるわけじゃないのよ。血がブクブクと溢れ出し、腹からは腸を引きずり出されて肺に血がたまり、最後には自らの血で溺れ死ぬ。そんな緩慢な死を思えばギロチンなんて人道的な発明よね。そうそう、知ってる？ギロチンってね、貴族のために生み出されたんですってよ。銃殺や絞首刑よりももっともっときれいにあっさりすっぱりと死ねるように生み出した。死の際まで特別扱いしてもらえる貴族のための処刑道具。フランス革命末期の恋愛を慣習の嘲笑を浴びながら数珠つなぎの貴族たちが一列に並ばされて次々と一台のギロチンで処刑されていくの。ちょん、はい次、ちょん、はい次、ちょん。人間の死がわずか一瞬でベルトコンベヤーの上の工場生産のように量産されていく。神父の老い、誰も個人の死に感情を抱かない。慣習は一人の死を見てるんじゃなくて、何十人もの貴族が長ネギをスライサーで削っていくみたいに手際よくちょんちょんちょんと跳ねていく、そのちょんちょんの連続性をショーとして面白がるわけ。それに比べたら一人の人間をじっくりいじめ殺す方がよっぽど個人を尊重しているとは思わない？そんな濃密な死と拷問で飾り立てられたのがこのお社様という存在なわけ。
Oh no. Hakano raised her hand to honor the statue of Oyashiro-sama. Now, one thing, I didn't know that the Japanese did crucifixions. Apparently they did, some time ago, and it was in the 1500s, like the late 1500s in Nagasaki. 26 Catholics were executed via crucifixion. But the crucifixes looked a bit different. So this is like the Western depiction of it, or like one of the Western images that depict it. It looks like this. It's nothing brutal, by the way, but it's a very interesting like wood etching. But as you can see, like the crucifixes that they use are kind of different. At least the one that's normally used in the West. I'll zoom in on one of them actually. This one. Usually the one that's used in the West, as far as I've seen it personally in like depictions, tend to have like, I mean the arm part is still the same, right? You nail them to the top bar, and then usually they have their feet like also nailed together to like a small little wooden board. Here they're kind of, I don't know, they're like standing on a little platform. If we look at this other image though, you can see it kind of like a little bit better. One sec. It's like this. There's another painting of it actually, but you can kind of see what I'm trying to get at. So there you can kind of see how they're crucified a little bit different. Like it's not just a cross, it's more like, you know, like a letter H. Kind of, at least with the bottom pedestal or the bottom board. It's quite something, that's for sure. Huh. I did find like an actual image of like someone being crucified though. I'm pretty sure I cannot show this. But I think this is just a generic crucifixion, but assuming it is from the side, from Japan. Actually, this is also kind of accurate, or probably also very accurate. This is kind of like how they got crucified in Japan. I can't show the other image or the rest of the image, but I can show part of it. They were, they were crucified like this, with their arms spread out and their legs spread out as well. Instead of you know, the feet resting on the board, right? It's a crucifixion. But anyway. Getting back to Takano here.
お社様という存在は結局人間が生み出した偶像なの。その偶像は恐怖で祭り上げられることで神聖化した。そう、人が法則や戒律で石垣を組み上げ、呪いやたたり、奇跡や恐怖の漆喰でそれを固める。それらを積み上げて積み上げて雲の上にまで届く高みを作り、その上に立てられるのが神という存在なの。神は人が欲するゆえに人が生んだ人の手による存在。つまり人が人を恐怖で支配しようと思った時に生まれる純粋な恐怖と血と拷問の結晶。それがここではお社様という存在になるのよ。つまり神の世界へ至る階段は神ではなく人の手で作られていたことの証左であり、私たち人間をさらなる高みへ誘う指針を示して。
Her passionate lecture was interrupted by a loud noise. As I looked back, Hanyu was jumping up and down with her eyes full of tears. Aw, no. She was stomping the floor as hard as she could, making loud noises instead of screaming out with her unheard voice. However, it all amounted to the same thing. Hanyu cannot be heard by people.
違うのです。違うのです。僕はそんなのじゃないのです。羽生、僕は人が死んだりとかいじめられたりとかそんなのは嫌なのです。みんなで一緒に仲良く楽しく暮らしてくれればいいのです。もちろん僕たちが悪いところもいっぱいありますです。でもそんなのを望んだことなんて一度もないのです。 羽生は羽生よ。
What a sentence. Hanyu is who Hanyu is.
お社様なんてあなたとは関係のないことでしょ。違うのです、違うのです。高野は嫌いです。嫌いなのです。いつも僕のことをひどく言いますのです。ひどく言いますのです。言いますのです。
Was it a bad idea for me to bring Takano in here? I knew that Takano would get overstimulated and say something like this. Fortunately, Hanyu's rejection indirectly reached Takano and she stopped lecturing. Somehow, Tomitake had heard the noise that Hanyu made. He pressed his fingers in front of his lips and told Takano to be quiet.
何事なの？
うん。さっき子供が遠くで飛び跳ねるような音が聞こえたんだよ。この建物の周りで子供が遊んでいるのかもしれない。
そう？私には何の気配も感じないけれど。
That's because Takano's not a new type, so she can't hear the voices of ghosts. Like
いや、
Tomitake.
確かに聞こえたよ。高野さん、ここへはお忍びで入れてもらってるんだ。リカちゃんの立場にも配慮して、もう少し静かに見学しないと悪いよ。
Takano seemed disappointed, but Tomitake was right. She had no choice but to be quiet.
富竹、周りに子供なんていませんですよ。
そうかい？リカちゃんには聞こえなかったかい？僕は確かに飛び跳ねるような音を聞いたんだけどな。
もちろん、僕も聞きましたですよ。
Here she said, of course I heard it as well.
遠くではなく、僕のすぐ後ろでドタンドタン跳ねていましたです。富竹には遠くに聞こえたでしょうが、僕にはすぐ後ろだったのでうるさいくらいでしたですよ。
I was standing in front of the altar and the statue of Oyashiro-sama was right behind me. Tomitake seemed freaked out after hearing what I just told him. Although he was trying to fake a smile, his face was turning pale. However, Takano didn't seem scared at all.
高野、西宮殿の中でお社様を怒らせるようなことを言うのは禁止なのです。お社様がとても怒っていますのです。その声が聞こえませんか？
It's fortunate that she can't, to be honest. Even if she heard it, it would be nothing but tears. Aww. My job as a shrine maiden to begin with is to tell humans what Oyashiro-sama is feeling. I'm responsible for speaking on Hanyu's behalf. Takano must have realized that I was very serious about what I just said. She apologized to me right away.
ごめんなさい。いささか調子に乗りすぎたわ。お社様もごめんなさい。人が崇めればそれは神。たとえ私が崇めなくても神聖は侵されない。面白半分に冒涜したことを謝るわ。
お社様は甘いものが大好きなのです。僕を経由してお供えしないとたたりがありますですよ。
I mean, she's right. Because technically Oyashiro-sama will receive the sweets if Rika eats them. But it's gonna sound like she's just gonna be begging for treats right now. Tomitake couldn't help but smile. Takano also smiled. She bowed to me, promising to bring over some cream puffs soon. Takano finally stopped saying bad things about Oyashiro-sama. She also promised to bring me something sweet. Hanyu was still upset, but she was probably satisfied for the moment. But I didn't know what she meant by the 3 fingers she was showing me. Was she telling me to ask Takano for that too? Being her shrine maiden is not an easy thing.
お社様はシュークリームは最低でも3つ欲しいと言ってますですよ。僕が食べたいわけではないので誤解しないでほしいのです。
Oyashiro-sama wants them, not me. They took it as a joke I made to reduce the tension. Tomitake and Takano cracked up, holding their stomachs. Hanyu was looking at them with surprise, not knowing why they were laughing. My face, meanwhile, was turning red with embarrassment.
わかったわ。お社様のために美味しいシュークリームを3つ買ってくるわね。リカちゃんやさとこちゃんの分もいくつか買った方がいいのかしら？
いえ、 僕の分はいいのです。その代わり、どうしても聞いてもらいたい話がありますのです。
3 days from now, you will be killed brutally.
何かしら。今日は西宮殿に入れてもらえるというわがままを聞いてもらえたんだから、それに見合うわがままには応えるつもりよ。
僕が今から話すことを絶対に信じてほしいのです。どうしてとか、そんなバカなとかはなしなのです。だから絶対に信じて、運命に打ち勝って私を助けてほしいのです。
Both of them were surprised to see such a serious look on my face. I was sure they'd be surprised. After all, I was about to explain to them that they were going to die in 2 days. 2 days, not 3. I'm sure they'd want to deny that, but I knew a fair bit about their deaths. If I could explain it to them in detail, they wouldn't be able to laugh it off. I talked to them about it several times in previous lives, but they never took it seriously. I only had that slight possibility that they might believe me. Hopefully, the possibility is as small as a miracle. It should be engraved on the side of a die. My friends overcame their fates, and they all rolled a 6. Should I call that a miracle? Please, God, let me roll a 6 again. Please let them believe that death is upon them. Imagine, chapter end. Like, that's it. Tips. I'm kidding. That's probably the halfway mark. Right? Okay, it is. And of course they cut, come on. What a cock tease. Idia turned the light on as soon as he finished his presentation. There were about 8 men wearing lab coats inside the meeting room. The man sitting at the far end was the only person without one. Upon seeing Idia finish his speech, he clapped his hands several times. Having noticed his applause, the other men in the room soon followed suit.
それはよかった。
Huh? Hey? This looks like Tomitake. Kind of. Huh? Oh, but it is Tomitake? He's got a visitor's badge on. Oh god. What the fuck is this?
本当によかった。この度の成果は個人的にもとても満足できるところです。
入江先生の献身的努力の賜物ですわ。
いえいえ、優秀なスタッフの協力があればこそです。
Okay, so it is Tomitake. He just looks so weird in like, I don't know, some fucking like suit. He looks so weird. And Idia looks like a dork right now. Hold on. Like he really does look very dorky. Hold on. Let's see if I can do it. No, hold on. I don't remember the hotkey for it. But he just looks so fucking weird right now. Anyway.
すべてのスタッフに感謝します。
これで完全治療のめどが立ったと言えるでしょう。まだいくつかの詰めは残っておりますが、それは時間と予算が解決する問題です。
それにつきましてはよろしくお願いいたします。しかるべき人員と予算があれば、おそらく3年以内、61年度までには完全な医療体制を確立できると思います。今後の課題は、専門知識のない医療機関でも容易に対応できるパッケージ的な治療方法の確立と、より安価で簡易な検査法の確立です。
検査法に関しては、現在入江先生が血液採取から潜在患者を発見する方法を研究中です。この方法が確立すれば、一般的な健康診断と併用できますので、相当の低コスト化を実現できると思われます。
So the first thing that comes to mind, at least with this, is well, you know, how they mentioned that with Oyashiro-sama or other people that are from the village, that they have some sort of way to easily test for whether or not they're infected by a parasite. So it kind of makes you wonder if, you know, that's what they're testing for right now. Through blood samples, once it's established. Yeah. So it could be that, or more realistically, it's whatever Satoko has. Whatever, like, hyper cancer that she's got is being researched.
それは素晴らしい。現在の検査法はだいぶ大掛かりで高コストですからね。いや、コストにまでお気遣いいただき本当に感謝します。国民の健康はすなわち国益のはず。それに予算問題を出すのは本当に情けないことなのですが、削れるなら1円でも安くというのが当方の立場なのです。
Okay, so Tomidake is a businessman, it seems. We know that he, like, takes pictures for fun, and that's why he comes up to, you know, up to the village. But, interesting.
もちろん理解しています。治療法は確立したがコスト的に不可能では絵に描いた餅ですから。机上の空論でなく実行可能な方法で考えるのも我々の仕事です。
Tomitake started clapping again, and everyone followed him.
あなたは医師として優秀なだけでなく、本当に尊敬できる人格者です。
Wait a minute. So, if they are researching something to help Satoko, is that what links their murders to, well, them happening? As in, since they're researching how to cure whatever she might have, it could be that kind of puts the target on their back. Because remember, anyone that was ever nice to the Hojo family got killed. Or anyone that was associated with the Hojo family got killed. Every single time. So what if this is what's going on here? Anyway.
あなたとお会いできたことを誇りに思います。
Because we didn't know why Tomitake would get killed. But if he's investing in this, you know what I mean. Anyway.
いえ、本当に拍手をいただくのは全ての方を治療できて、いわゆるお社様のたたりを完全に撲滅できた時です。
What? Is that Satoko's, like, hyper cancer? The curse of Oyashiro-sama? What the fuck?
それまでどうか連帯して頑張っていけたらと思っております。
こちらこそ。私も入江所長の要求する予算が限りなく額面通りになるよう努力します。どうか引き続きよろしくお願いいたします。
Tomitake and Irie shook hands, and the meeting room was filled with applause yet
で
again.
は今夜のミーティングはこれまでといたしましょう。明日は皆さんもお待ちかねのメインイベント、予算ヒアリングです。各自奮闘しましょう。
Right, he specifically said it was Oyashiro-sama's curse, which in the past has been described as a literal parasite in your head, or in your body. So, is the parasite theory true all along? This is more than likely what Ryukishi wants us to think, as the reader or as the viewer, that, oh, remember that like crazy far-fetched theory from the last chapter? What if it was real? I'm gonna be vague about that shit now. Hakuna was being sarcastic, of course. The staff members in lab coats were smiling bitterly.
いや、必要な予算なら私も最大限配慮します。私は本当は皆さんの味方になってあげたいくらいなんですよ。ですが、上に説明するのも直接怒られるのも僕ですのでね。申し訳ございませんが、しぶしぶ厳格に審査させていただきます。どうかご協力をよろしくお願いいたします。
それが富武さんのお仕事ですからやむを得ません。どうか明日はよろしくお願いいたします。では 本日はこれで解散といたします。
Once Edie had declared the meeting over, his white-coated staff gathered up their documents and left. And left after glancing at the clock. Jeez. It was almost midnight. The staff who were off tomorrow might be alright, but those scheduled to work needed to sleep soon, or it would hinder them the next day. Takano gathered up the butts from the ashtrays as well as the empty coffee cans.
あら、コーヒーを飲まない人もいるのね。せっかく会議用に認めさせたコーヒー代なんだから、ちゃんと飲んでくれないとこの分まで予算が切られちゃうのかしら。
ひどいな。僕も仕事でいやいややってるんだよ。
ああ、高野さん、そのコーヒー1本もらいます。
じゃあ僕ももらいます。すべて飲み切った方が予算請求には都合がいいでしょうから。
The two of them seemed more relaxed with the other staff members gone. Tomitake and Edie loosened their collars in a sign of relief.
リカちゃんとサトコちゃんたちはお元気ですか？先週聞いた話では、サトコちゃんの検査結果が一時期良くなかったように聞きましたが。
あれは取り越し苦労のようでした。急に暑くなりましたからね、体がびっくりしてしまったんでしょう。最新の検査結果では非常に安定した状態に戻っています。
入江先生は聡子ちゃんには特に熱心ですからね。
そんなことはありませんよ。医師たるもの、すべての辞める者には公平に全力を尽くします。そして私に感謝してメイドさんになってくれればなお素晴らしいのですが、いやはやなかなかそうはなりませんね。
サトコちゃんを完全に治療できる方法があれば本当に素晴らしいのですが、それはやはり難しそうですか？
サトコちゃんのように一度でもレベル5に至った場合、幻覚症状の再現、いわゆるフラッシュバックに近い現象が起こりやすくなります。これは厳密には病気によるものではなく、精神の中に育まれる正常な防衛反応なんです。厚物に懲りてナマスを吹くということわざにもあるように、過去の経験を積極的に生かそうとする正常な反応なんです。
つまり一言で言えば心的外傷のことよ。しかも前頭葉に直接ダメージを受けていることが考えられるので、一般的な心的外傷よりもずっと繊細なカウンセリングと長期の投薬が必要でしょう。
Right. I mean, we know about her past, so this all checks out.
病気は治療できても心の傷は治せないということかい？
心的外傷に苦しむ人は社会にも大勢いる。その中の一人に混じれるだけでも、かつての聡子ちゃんの症状を思えば奇跡的な回復なんだしね。
糖尿病などと同じに考えてください。不治の病ではあっても症状を抑えて元気に生活されている方も大勢います。
サトコちゃんは今でも日に3度の注射を？
いえ、だいぶ調子が落ち着いてきましたので、今は日に2度です。3度に比べればだいぶ負担は軽くなったと思います。
最初はだいぶ嫌がったんだけどね、リカちゃんがうまくごまかしてくれてるみたいよ。
ごまかして？
サトコちゃんは生活資金の援助を受ける代償として私の研究に協力してもらっているということになっています。
では日に2度の注射は自分の病気のためでなく、入江先生の研究の協力のためにやっているつもりなんですか？
次郎さん、聡子ちゃんに自分がどういう病気にかかっているのかを説明することは前に話さなかったかしら？
いや、思い出したよ。無神経なことを言って申し訳ない。
富武さんもどこかでサトコちゃんに会ったら優しくしてあげてください。
そうですね。わかりました。
リカちゃんは本当に強い人ですね。さとこちゃんと同じような境遇のはずなのに、あれだけしっかりと生活できるんですから。
すべてリカちゃんとお亡くなりになられたご両親のおかげですね。多大なる理解と協力がなければ、これだけの短期間では治療の糸口は見つけられなかったでしょう。
人道的でない実験にもよく耐えてくれました。ご両親の死をも乗り越えてくれた彼女の協力なくして今日の成果はありえません。なんとかその恩に報いてあげたいものです。
そうですね。東京もリカちゃんとサトコちゃんが最大の功労者であることは理解しています。
Right, so we know this much. It was kind of hinted at in the last chapter, or whenever we had the chapter with with Satoko getting her test done. I'm pretty sure that was last chapter. And we know that or sorry, Satoko was getting her test. We know that Rika is being tested on, but not what kind of tests are being performed on her.
必ずや二人の協力に見合う感謝を示すでしょう。
あらあら、私たちにはコーヒーフィルター代まで渋るのに気前がいいのね。
だからそれをいじめないでほしいな。昨年の話は高野さんに根を持たれっぱなしだよ。
でも私たち大人は彼女たちの協力に結局お金でしか報いれないのね。心で報いる方法があればいいのに。
Takano muttered, like she was talking to herself, but it almost sounded as if she was talking to them.
きっと心で報いる方法は日常の中にたくさんあります。それらを一つ一つ積み重ねていくことで、いろいろな形でお返しができると思います。
入江先生は、いえ、監督は日々そうしておられるようですわね。私もあの子たちに何か親切でもするようにしてあげないと。
そうだよ。高野さんはそれでなくとも今日大きな恩をリカちゃんに受けたじゃないか。
いけない。明日の朝一でフィルムを現像に出さないと。ああ、本当に貴重な体験だったわ。
Oh no. Imagine it's Iria that gets them killed.
歴史、文化、その息吹、本当に素晴らしい時間だったわ。
Iria wondered what she could have experienced during the day. Tomidake could only smile and act like he didn't know anything.
そうだ、高野さん。今日の最後にされたリカちゃんのあのお願いだけど、どう思う？
Oh?
被害妄想だと思いたいけれど、本人だって明確な証拠は示せないって言ったわけだし。
何かあったんですか？話だけを聞いていると、リカちゃんに良くない兆候が出たように聞こえますが。
Yeah, she's kind of schizophrenic right now. She said that she could see our deaths and that, I'm gonna be burned alive in an oil drum and dumped in the mountains off of this prefecture, and that Tomitake here is gonna be killed in the corner of the street on his way back to town after he claws his throat out when he gets beat up by a bunch of people.
先週のリカちゃんの検査結果、私は極めて安定した良好な結果だったと思っているのですが、入江先生から見て何か変わった所見は見受けられましたか？
She's dying.
いいえ、今回もとても安定した結果でしたよ。さとこちゃんの検査結果が日本海の荒波だと例えるなら、リカちゃんは琵琶湖の水面のような感じです。二人の気象そのものですね。
急性発症の可能性は？
一体何事ですか？まさかリカちゃんに症状の進行が見られるというのですか？
実は今日、彼女から私たちに依頼があったんですわ。自分の命が狙われているように思うので、身辺警護の強化を依頼したいと。
そんなバカな。 一体誰が彼女の命を狙おうなどと言うんですか。
The way he delivered that line was kind of weird. He was like, yeah, who would wanna kill Rika? You know, kind of like that.
考えられない。
リカちゃんは村中から愛されてるマスコットで、殺したいほど憎む人がいるなんて聞いたこともない。
They need to stop calling her a mascot.
僕も正直眉唾だとは思っています。
It's kind of weird.
リカちゃんは自分の命が脅かされている根拠、なんだ追跡妄想や被害妄想の類だとしたら、確かにレベル5の初期症状と言えなくもありませんね。
夢で見たと。そういう悪夢にうなされてとても怖い思いをしたので、落ち着くまで身辺護衛を頼みたいと言うんです。
あのくらいの年の子なら夢見が悪くて怖くなってしまうこともたまにはあるかもしれない。でも僕たちの立場上、それが単なる悪夢なのか初期症状なのかは慎重に判断する必要があるだろうね。
わかりました。明日彼女には緊急検査を実施しましょう。問題がないことを祈ります。今のこの村で彼女より大切な人間は存在しないのですから。
何も問題がなければいいんだけどね。でももしそうだったとしたらどうしようね。
ジローさん、リカちゃんはあれだけのものを私たちに見せてくれて、その見返りがあのお願いなのだとしたら、とてもささやかなものだとは思わない？身辺に不安を感じるという訴えをしてくれたんだから、私たちはそれに応えてこそ信頼関係だと思うの。これがお金でなく心で報いるということじゃないのかしら。
そうですね。仮に訴えが彼女の言うように夢見のせいだったとしても、それに応えなければ私たちは彼女の信頼を失うでしょう。ある意味幸運ではありませんか。彼女に恩返しをする方法が一つ見つかったわけですからね。
確かにおっしゃる通りです。それに彼女の訴えは私たちが当初から保障しているはずの権利でもあります。
それでなくても私たちは彼女の安全を徹底的に守らなければならない。
その通りです。それについては私ではなく皆さんの仕事ですね。どうかよろしくお願いいたします。
わかりました。では高野さんの権限内でお願いします。東京から番犬を派遣するレベルでもないでしょう。
The bloodhounds from Tokyo. I guess they mean like doctors, right? Like, you know, those who can pick up blood, like, or a blood scent, is what I assume. So probably other doctors.
フルでリカが夢にうなされたので派遣をお願いしますなんて言えませんものね。了解しました。
Unless it's like a special task force that they know.
山犬に最低4名の24時間警護を命じます。
それはすごいな。
Huh? Who the fuck are the mountain dogs? Who the fuck is this? What? We have these Sonozaki special forces, right? Where we have people that are just like trained killers. And now we have mountain dogs.
私が上京する時の警護より厳重です。
What's next? Like Diamond Dog?
だってリカちゃんにはそれだけの恩を受けちゃったんですもの。そりゃもうすごい警護をつけるわよ。リカちゃんの暗殺を企むような奴らは絶対阻止。山犬の再生栄を護衛につけるわ。たとえ相手が超永久スナイパーでも守りきってみせるわよ。にゃーにゃー。
あ、
鬼ヶ淵村の神秘万歳。
あ、Hold on. Hold on. 何か What the fuck was this line? I mean, I'm sure it is just translated into that, but Like, yeah, she said something else. She said something like, "Long live the mysteries of Onigashiki Village," right? Which, you could say that she's just like cheering for Onigashiki, right? Like the fucking, the whole village. But it's still, anyway, it's an interesting choice for a translation.
高野さん、何かいいことでもあったんですか？
いや、その
Is this the actual end of the chapter, or is this like another halfway point? It's a fake out. After looking through the items that had been donated for the auction, we had realized that there was nothing kids would be interested in. Keiji insisted that the show wouldn't be a success unless there was something that kids would beg their parents to buy. He's probably right. For that reason, we went to the toy store again today. We were trying to get the owner to donate something that would interest all the kids attending the festival.
なるほどね。うちも先日のみんなのおかげで売れ残りをじゃなくていろいろとゲームを売ることができたからね。協力したいのは山々なんだけど。
Also, hey Billy, thanks for stopping by over on the Twitch side. It was an interesting revelation, that's for sure. Whether or not Oyashiro-sama's curse, quote-unquote, is really a disease, like, that's still crazy to think about. Because it could be. Or maybe it isn't. Or, I don't know. What if there really are chemicals in the waters of Hinamizawa? Anyway.
バッチャは叩き売りオークションが大人も子供も楽しめるイベントになることを大いに期待しております。ダメかな、吉郎おじさん。
本家の大ババ様に期待されちゃあな。わかったよ。なんとか協力するよ。断ると大晦日にどんな嫌味を言われるか怖いや。
すげえな。ミオンとこのばあさんって本当に偉いんだな。
私は会ったことありませんけど、怖い人らしいんですのよ。
Are the mountain dogs mentioned in Onigashiki? In a tip? I don't fucking remember, dude. We played Onigashiki almost literally a year ago. Like, almost a year on the dot. Holy fuck. Anyway.
シオンさんが言うには、趣味は人の生爪を剥がすことなんだとか。それはしーちゃんが脅かしただけだよ。レナはみーちゃんのおばあちゃんをよく知ってるよ。とっても優しい人なんだよ。礼儀正しくしてれば。
I'm impressed that she can refer to that monster as a nice lady.
礼儀正しくないと怖いのです。あと、敬語の使い方が間違ってる人にも怖いのですよ。ニパー。それは私には優しくないという意味ではございませんの？
Oh, she fucking hates you, Satoko.
ケイちゃん、話ついたよ。気前よく教室してくれるってさ。
Okay, we're gonna take the N64s that are in the background. And maybe those TVs. And like a fight stick. Also, is that a fucking Zoid? Hold on. I think it might be. I think this might be a Zoid. You can barely fucking tell. But it might be... I think... Because I haven't seen... Well, I mean, I recently started watching the Zoids anime. Chaotic Century, I think it's what it's called. But I haven't gotten, like, super far into it. I'm, like, in episode 18 or something. And... I've been looking more into, like, model kits for them recently. And I think there was, like, a gold saber tiger or something like that. I don't know, dude. Let's see. See if I can quickly find a box of one that might look like it. Actually, I think I found it. It might be one of these. Like this. They look very similar. Well, actually, I should shrink it more. Even more? Jeez. They look very similar. You can kind of see like the box in the background. They look very, very, very similar. So it seems like this might be, I don't know, it might be that box, maybe from like a, I don't know, maybe an older version of it. I don't know if this might be a re-release or something. I don't know if this is like a toy instead of a mono kit. I don't fucking know. I'm not like a diehard Zoids fan, but the boxes look very, very, very similar. That's for sure. Anyway. Here we go. His laugh was a painful one.
どうして村人はミオンの言うことを聞きますのですか？
Shouldn't you know this by now?
そりゃ園崎本家の意向に決まってるじゃない。ミオンはその園崎本家のお姫様だもの。誰も逆らえないわね。
リカもフルデ本家のお姫様なのですよ。
Well, Mariko's also the last Furude in general.
ありがとう。
But that's cute. She called Rika a princess. The members of the Inosuke branch families who own businesses usually get their funding from Mion's family. They can never go against the will of the main branch. The Sonosuke family made a fortune on the black market after the war, and they invested those funds as capital into businesses run by the family and the villagers. They charge almost no interest and required no cosigners or collateral. So long as one gives a proper explanation, they'll be provided a notable sum. The money has to be paid back, of course, but it's lent between family and the community. They're willing to make some adjustments if one goes begging. For that reason, everyone is borrowing money from the family. And that, more than anything, is why they can never refuse a request from Mion.
よーし、じゃあみんな手分けしてこれはと思うものを探してくれ。探し方のコツとしては、できれば大きいものの方がいいな。例えばトランプを一箱叩き売りしたって迫力がないだろ。でかいものの方が迫力があっていいもんな。
つまり大きくて高いものを狙い撃ちなのです。
Oh god, is Keiichi gonna... Is he going to look at the giant teddy bear that's on the window? Oh wait, no, that got bought, if I recall. It got procured like the day Satoshi went missing. Never mind. My mind started wondering, like, what if he grabs that bear, he's like, oh, we can use this, the giant teddy bear. And then Shion is gonna be like, or Mion's gonna be like, maybe not. And Satoko's gonna be like, I don't know about that, Keiichi. And he's like, it's whatever. And then, like, Shion, like, shows up to the auction and she fucking has a mental breakdown.
任せなさいませ。そういうのなら大得意ですわよ。みんなお店のおじさんの顔色を見ながら選ぼうね。
うん。
うわー、レナ見て見て、このぬいぐるみかわいいかわいい。
かいい全部お持ち帰り。
みんな少しは加減してね。
So hey RJ, thanks for stopping by also on the Twitch side. The shop owner smiled bitterly at us.
ケイチくん、これは何だろう。ブランコって書いてあるよ。ブランコって公園のブランコ？うわ、重たい。
ああ、組み立て式のブランコだろ。庭や室内に置いて遊べるはずだ。公園のブランコのようなダイナミックな遊び方はできないけどな。小さい子が遊ぶにはまあ最初のうちは面白いんだけどな。そのうち飽きて使わなくなると洗濯物を干すのにちょうどよくなるんだよ、これが。
やたら例えがリアルなのです。ケイチは持ってましたのですか？
前の家でな、小さい頃のクリスマスのプレゼントに買ってもらったことがある。何しろパッと見の迫力があるしな。いいチョイスだぞレナ。
はいケイちゃん、これを貼っといて。あ 後で町会の人に取りに来てもらうから。
Mion handed Keiichi a piece of paper that said Town Council on it. She was carrying around a whole stack of them. She's really thorough when it comes to things like that.
ケイチさん、これなんかいかがですの？家庭用プールでしたよ。
ほう、それもなかなかいいチョイスだな。ミオ、こいつも押さえとかないか？
ひなみ沢じゃ水遊びがしたければ沢へ行けばいいからね。微妙じゃないかな。
でも金魚さんのプリントがなんだか可愛らしいね。
That's what makes it stand out. It's the goldfish pattern.
レナはこのプールあってもいいと思うかな私もあっていいと思いますわ。これだけたくさんの水が貯められればいろんなトラップに応用が効きますのよ。
ダメだダメだ、却下だ。その威力を味わうのはどうせ俺に違いない。却下却下。
ならこれはどうなのですか？ゾウさんの滑り台なのですよ。みー、これは僕も面白そうだと思いますのです。僕もお持ち帰りしたいのですよ。
さとこが滑ろうとした瞬間に上からドンと押すとさとこがコロコロと転がっていくのよね。ああ、想像しただけで楽しくなってきた。羽生もそんなさとこを見たいでしょ。
Now we have Hanyu saying omochikairi.
リカはさとこに意地悪して遊ぼうとしてますのです。はあ、それもいいね。お持ち帰り。
はいはい、売約済み売約済みっと。
We enjoyed the privilege of picking donations for a while. I started to feel bad seeing the owner's troubled expression. I patted him on the head to try to comfort him. Rub rub, pat pat. Nipa.
おお、麻雀だ。
Oh
どうした
no.
の、ケイちゃん。
Keiichi found something in the tabletop game section. I walked toward him to see what it was. There I saw a green mat on the table with the mahjong tiles all lined up on it. They were arranged in a square shape as if someone was playing there until just a few minutes ago.
あれ、何これ、吉郎おじさん。勤務時間に麻雀なんかやってたの？
いやいや、違うよ。これはね。
I had expected to see board games and card games in the toy store, but not mahjong. I guess it isn't weird for a toy store to sell this, though.
すっごい久しぶりだよ。もうほとんどルールは忘れちゃったかな。
おお、レナくらいの女の子が麻雀を知ってるなんてすごいじゃないか。
I really need to learn how to play mahjong, but I haven't actually like bothered to learn. Most of it, I've only played it a few times, like once or twice. But I'm still not good at it because I just have to remember, like, you know, the hands, and then it depends on whether or not you play Riichi mahjong, and so on and so forth.
あ、ひょっとしてあれか？以前に部活の種目になったことがあるんだろう。
Yeah, but we lost pieces.
去年の暮れでしたかしらね。もちろん私も大活躍でしたのよ。私の顔にはトラップが潜んでいましたよ。
ミオ、お前な、裏若き女の子が4人も集まって学校で麻雀かよ。
ちょっとケイちゃん、麻雀をバカにしちゃダメだよ。ひなみ沢は豪雪地帯。村の冬の娯楽は麻雀一色になるんだから。こたつでぬくぬくみかんと麻雀。テレビからは紅白が流しっぱなし。風情があっていいね。
That sounds really nice, actually. That's probably how the Sonozuki family spends its winter. That doesn't mean the whole village does that.
そういえばここいらは豪雪地帯なんだったな。
Right.
なるほど。こたつで遊べる大人のゲームといったら麻雀はど定番だよな。
ケイちゃん、 麻雀をバカにしちゃいけないよ。
Kinda. I don't think they've addressed it. They've mentioned it like once or twice, but the gun that Mion has on her is like a model gun. As far as I know, it's an airsoft gun. Because if you look at the like the console sprite, like it doesn't have it. It's only in the old school art.
麻雀こそは男社会の潤滑よ。四角いジャングルを囲むとき、男たちは東なら清流、西なら白虎、南は朱雀、北は玄武。
Okay, I think well, of course, these are the direction. These are like the compass, like, you know, directions. You know, like north, south, east, and west. But if I recall, these are like literally the names of the dragon, the tiger, the bird, and the turtle. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, it is. Right. I know them by their Shin Megami Tensei titles, which is like King Long. What was his fucking name? Feng Huang, Yu Zhan, or no, sorry, Zhan Wu, and King Long, I think. Yes, it's King Long, but also known as Seiryu. Right. No check. Yeah, they're from the Chinese constellation. Yeah, that's what they are. And of course, that's like also the directions of the, you know, where you're sitting at in the during the game of Mahjong. But anyway.
普段の上下関係やいさかいを全部捨てて対等な関係で戦い合うわけよ。
Baihu, not Byakko. But Byakko is also the name of it. Anyway.
その精神の尊さは古代オリンピックにも通じるものがあるってわけ。ね？すごいでしょ？
俺はそれよりもこいつがいつ部活に登場して罰ゲームが何になるかの方が怖えぞ。
ケイチ君は麻雀わかるの？
親父が好きでな。お客さんが来た時メンツが足りないと無理やり入れられてたよ。強いかどうかはともかくルールはわかる。不計算はできないけどな。それはそうと、なんでこんなところに麻雀が出てるわけだ？
Everyone looked at the owner.
いやね、お昼に来たお客さんと話してたらツバメ返しができるっていうんで見せてもらったんだよ。
ツバメ返し？
ツバメ返しだって？麻雀史上究極の荒技イカサマじゃないか。
Should we look it up? They're probably gonna explain it, but let's see. Tsubame Gaeshi. I'll have it ready just in case, but we'll see.
古代中国にて伝説の達人が編み出したという中国拳法究極の技。
Oh wait, Tsubame Gaeshi is a judo technique, but you know, it's probably slang for a play in mahjong, at least, or in mahjong in Japan.
その威力は宝具と同じとまで言われ、あまりの恐ろしさに時の皇帝によって葬り去られたと聞いていたが、未だ使い手が実在したのか。ちなみにこれは親父の受け売りなので真相は保証しない。
ツバメ返しって宮本武蔵だっけ？
は？Okay.
麻雀とどういう関係なのかな？手牌と山牌を瞬時に入れ替えてしまう大技なのですよ。
え？
ミパー。
おいミオン、なんでお前はこういう痛いけな子にそういう悪い知識を吹き込むんだよ。
いや
見てみたいな。
Why would you teach Rika how to
誰か
do
やって
this?
みせてよ。リカちゃんはできるのかな？知ってるだけでできませんです。さとこが一時期練習してましたですよ。
ちょっと待てサトコ、お前その年でそんなのを練習するんじゃない。
戦う前からトラップは始まっているなんて雰囲気は 確かに聡子の得意としそうな雰囲気だね。
相手が圧勝におごり、油断した最後の勝負で仕掛けるのこそ最高のトラップタイミングなんですのよ。
で、聡子は結局マスターできたわけ？練習はしてたんでしょ？
実戦ではとても使えませんわね。練習でほんの何度かできたことがあるっきりですわ。
Oh.
へえ、見たい見たい。聡子ちゃん、やってみせてよ。僕も見てみたいのです。
Oh god, it's Mahjong.
仕方ありませんわね。失敗しても笑わないでくださいますよ。
Satoko sat in front of the table and started piling up the tiles.
聡子はそんなすごいことをできるのでしょうか？
さあ、どうかしらね。成功すればすごいし、失敗しても可愛いし照れてる聡子が可愛いから、私は実は成功失敗はどうでもよかったりして。
まずはですわね、あらかじめ山の灰に欲しい灰を仕込んでおくことから始めますのよ。なるほどね。それと手配を一気に入れ替えちゃおうというんだね。でもどうやって？手品なの？
だからね、手配と仕込んだ灰を一気に入れ替えちゃうわけ。ぜひ実際にアニメーションか何かでご覧に入れたいシーンなんだけどね。
They can't show it because they don't have the budget
文
for
章
it.
での中継なので、そのあたりは想像で保管してください。
Mion's breaking the fourth fucking wall, of course.
ミーが誰に喋ってるのかわからないのです。
と言いつつカメラ目線なリカちゃんもな。
では行きますわよ。
Everyone gulped and looked closely at the table. Satoko moved her hands like a swan on a lake. She had 13 tiles in front of her. Then she silently flipped them all face down. Then she lifted them up by holding both ends and silently placed them against the back edge of the wall, keeping them hidden.
さあ、いよいよここからだよ、聡子。
自信がありませんけど、行きますわよ。
We all went quiet. Satoko reached out toward the Yamahai, and then she grabbed the whole thing with her small little hands.
というわけで、ここで麻雀の詳しくない人にいかに山牌をつかむのが大変かを説明しよう。自分の手牌は通常13牌だ。
Right. Imagine you're like picking up your keyboard with like, but it's very it's like it's very. I don't know if you don't have a tight grip, you could easily just have your keyboard fall apart.
この程度の数なら両手でうまく押さえつけるように持てば宙に持ち上げることだってできる。
But right.
不慣れだと失敗してぶちまけてしまうが、そう難しいことではない。だが山牌はそうはいかない。山牌は基本的に17牌ある。しかも2段積みなのだ。
Right. So, in case you've never played or seen Mahjong, let me get this real quick. So, the Yamahai in Mahjong, let's see if I can find an actual just picture of it. Here, fuck. I keep getting like images of like the solitaire, but usually here, hold on. So like this. Yeah, this is what it's like. So get it up on screen. Go like this. So it looks like this. So this is the wall, basically. And it's supposed to be 17 tiles, right? 1, 2, 3. 17. Right, it's 17. And you can barely see it, but if you look closely, you can see the reflection of like the second set of tiles underneath them there on that corner. You'll see like that piece at the very edge. It's green on top, and then you can see white, and then you can see dark again. That little green piece, because there's another one underneath. So it's 4 rows. Sorry, it's it's 8 rows of 17 tiles stacked on top of each other, right? So what Satoko is doing right now is she's lifting up all 13 of her pieces, and she's gonna try to swap them out, I guess with 17 from the wall, specifically. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of this be done before, but you get what I mean.
しかもここからが肝心。17杯かける2段を丸ごと動かせばいいわけではないのだ。
Right.
上段は17杯全部を、下段は端の4杯のみを移動させなければならない。
17 tiles from the top row, and only the 4 tiles on the edges of the bottom row. So let's see. I assume you lift it, and then you drag, kind of like in an L shape, if that makes sense. You drag the, let's say, tiles 1 and 17 from the top, like 1 through 17 on the top row, and then tiles 1 and 2, then 16 and 17 from the bottom row. And then somehow pull them back?
これを先ほど山の向こうに置いた手牌13杯にかぶせることで、手牌は山の中に埋もれ、さっき山牌を移す時に残した下段の13杯が自分の手牌として残るのだ。これこそ積み込み技の究極と言われるゆえん。全13杯を丸ごと全部入れ替えてしまう大技なのだ。
How the fuck do you do that in a split second without anyone noticing?
さとこ、しっかりなのですよ。
I could see Satoko trying to concentrate. She was supposed to be doing this more naturally since it's a technique for cheating, but since for the moment it was just performance, I suppose it's fine. Somebody audibly swallowed, and at that exact moment she made her move. Eh? Why are we getting the console art for this? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. She had put too much strength into it. Her tiles fell apart.
やっぱり無理でございますわね。こんなのなかなかできるものじゃありませんわ。
うんうん。でも要領は今のとミオンの解説で大体分かったぜ。ちょっと俺もやってみる。
Wait a minute. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because there's 17 tiles. Okay, so I was thinking of it a different way. Okay, here. Let me see if I can show you what they're trying to do, because it's a little hard to picture, but see if I can get a picture. Okay, yeah, this can work. Just get a larger image. But so this is what the wall looks like once more. We do this, right? I think what they're doing is this specifically. A sec. Where I'm gonna just quickly like do it through like paint or something. So what's happening is they're moving the wall, right? And they are trying to make sure that, let me do it like this. Let's do like this. Yeah, like so. So these are the tiles that they're replacing. Okay. Or actually, maybe I'll do it. God damn it. I'm already like doing this bit for too long. Give me a sec. Fuck. Okay. So like this. And then this. Okay. So, if you look at the image that we have right now on screen, right, we have just the regular wall that's used in Mahjong, or in Mahjong. What Satoko was trying to do is grab all of the pieces that are highlighted, right? The ones that I highlighted in red, and from there, what she's doing is basically moving them all at the same time, so that the 13 tiles in between those spaces, the ones that are not highlighted, you know, the ones that are being sandwiched in between all the other pieces, those become her new hand. I still don't know exactly how she's doing this, my guess would be somehow I don't know, dude, because it's like you gotta have the tiles in front of those 13 and then maybe just move the wall and like adjust them. But how are you gonna get those 13 tiles that are being shoved or like left behind without the rest of the table knowing or noticing? Because remember, you're playing with 4 other people. How the fuck do you pull this shit off? Anyway.
レナも挑戦してみよう。今のうちに覚えておかないと、後で大変そうだからね。
Sorry, so Keiichi's like, let me try it. And then Rena says, I'm gonna try too. I guess I have to master this one now or else it'll be troublesome later
僕も
on.
挑戦しますです。
All of us except Mion took a seat and started piling up the tiles.
一見するとルールを知らない子供たちが麻雀牌で遊んでるように見えるんだけどね。
その実態はツバメ返しの練習だってんだから。
Right.
私の部員たちは実にたくましく育ってくれたもんだよ。
It's like, people might see you and think that you guys are just playing, you know, playing with the cards and playing poker. But in reality, they're counting cards. My hands and Satoko's hands are about the same size. If she can do it, I know I can do it too. Of course, I can't really use this trick during a real game. We're just playing around, but I was having a good time. I've never done this before in my 100 years of life.
手が不器用になった気がしますわ。悔しいですわね。
You're getting old, Satoko.
最初の13杯を持ち上げるのも難しい。
いいかレナ、両手の小指で挟み込むんだよ。そうそう、力を入れすぎると弾けるぞ。
かといって力が足りないとうまく持てないしね。その塩梅を得得する。
Yeah, because imagine the mahjong tiles. If you've ever played dominoes, or with dominoes, they're kind of made of like a similar material. I don't remember like the type of. What's the name of? Actually, you know what? Let's find out. Ivory. They used to be made of bone or ivory, but now they use acrylic, bakelite, celluloid, nylon, or recycled PET. So I assume it might be like acrylic. If you've ever, well, actually, let me double check. These should be also. Oh, it's probably okay. Well, in this case, with dominoes, it's ABS, polystyrene, or bakelite. So yeah, imagine like tiles that are hard, but like they're very slippery as well. So if you have like a tile next to another one, they can easily slip out of your hands. So if you're trying to lift all of them, you do need to apply enough force to lift them, but not squeeze them hard enough that there will be no friction between them, and they'll just pop out of your hands. So anyway, back to this. Not everyone can get past this stage. Satoko was doing well the first time, but she lost her concentration and is dropping her tiles now. I took Keiichi's advice and supported the tiles with my pinky fingers and lifted it up. Oh, I did it.
最初の13個をうまく持てましたのです。
おお、やるじゃねえか。なんだよ、リカちゃんが一番リードしてるぞ。負けられねえ。
リカも器用なのです。続きもうまくできますのですか？
なかなか難しいわね。でも誰よりも最初に成功させたいっていう気持ちはある。だって今はそういう遊びなんだからね。続けていくわよ。
頑張れ。
くそ、リカちゃんが一番乗りになっちまうのか。
次の入れ替えができればいきなり成功だね。次は牌がいっぱいあるから大変。頑張れなのですよ。リカ、正念場でしたよ。
Everyone's just watching with bated breath. I had to lift up the whole top row and only 4 tiles from the bottom row. I probably didn't need to use too much force. How would you even go about that? I'm thinking, if you remember the diagram that I had on screen a bit ago, I'm thinking you use your thumb and pinky to lift the bottom two and hold the back two tiles from the first row. So the two on the left and the two on the right. So you pinch the bottom ones with your thumb and then like your pinky finger. And then you apply, as you start to lift them, or you apply enough force with maybe like your index finger on the sides. Maybe. Or unless you use your thumb and your middle finger, and then apply enough force to the top tiles with your index fingers to then lift them just enough so that they can all kind of like move at the same time. I don't know. I can do this.
惜しいな。
やっぱり横に17パイもあるとそれだけで難易度は急激に高くなるね。
僕が一番に成功させますです。きっとできなかった人には罰ゲームがあるに違いないのです。
なんだってみよ本当か？
どうしようかね。
どうしよう? There are only 4 seats, so Mion wasn't even in the game. Did that mean that she could set up a punishment with no risk to herself?
はお、みーちゃんはやってないのにずるい。ずるいという暇があったら練習あるのみでございますわよ。なんだか大変なことになってしまったのです。
I thought we came all the way to Okinomiya to get donations for the auction. Why were we doing this now? Although, that's why I love hanging out with these people. If it wasn't for them, I would have lost my soul a long time ago. I would have become a worthless piece of flesh. I've heard that rabbits can die from loneliness, but humans are no different. Humans can also die from boredom.
羽生、やっぱり今回の世界は何かが特別。
That is true, by the way. Rabbits can, unfortunately, die if they don't have someone to spend time with. Which is why it's best to have rabbits in pairs, instead of having just one.
もちろんそれは個々にはいずれもあり得ることばかりなんだけど、それらが
そもそもリカの運命が今まで不幸続きだったのです。たまにはために貯めた幸運を放出してもらわないといけませんのです。
違いないわね。
If I have such a miserable and deadly fate, I do deserve some happiness that evens out the sadness. I felt like the luck I've been getting in this life was something that I've been saving up for 100 years. The people I love are all healthy and happy. I also asked Takano to reinforce my security. I don't know if she really will, but she promised me. She never did that in my previous lives. I think her reaction to my request was the best one so far. In fact, she was skipping on her way back home, so she must have been in a good mood. I was sorry for breaking the family rules, but I think it was worth it. I told them that their lives were also in danger, but I doubt they really believed that. They didn't seem too frightened by it. I'd have to give them a final warning on the night of the Watanashi. If I try warning them too often, they'd never believe me.
なら、私はもうこの世界でできる努力はないということなのかしら。
They're gonna think she's even more insane.
わかりませんのです。その時が訪れてみるまで何もわかりませんのです。
I'm blessed with miraculously good fortune in this world. I gave it my best effort using all my previous experience. But did I do enough? I wish I could have my fortune told. I just wanted something to tell me that I did everything right. Please tell me what my fortune is. And as soon as I made the wish, God granted it to me.
ありゃ、何ですかこれは。
Like a chill just ran down my spine. I suddenly heard a low voice. Keiichi and Rena dropped their tiles as soon as they heard it.
これは大石さんじゃありませんか。
She's like, well, if it isn't Oishi.
勤務中にこんなお店に入っていいんですか？
どうもどうもこんにちは。
I think in that case, it might be that they don't want to have the rabbits neutered, so they don't want to have them in the same, like, enclosure. But, like, because rabbits literally reproduce like rabbits. Like I think they give birth after like 3 or 5 months. I forget off the top of my head, but like rabbits get pregnant easily, and then they give like a lot, like birth to a lot of babies. Not only that, but it's like rabbits also need to like actually like each other. They have to be bonded, because you can't just put rabbits together in like, you know, let's say a little enclosure, or like, you know, if you have a barn outside or something, because they can get feral with each other and get like territorial. Even if it's like a boy and a girl rabbit, like the female rabbit might just attack the male rabbit. They'll literally claw at each other. They'll bite at each other. They will kill each other in some cases. It's fucking brutal. So you have to like bond them, and that process takes fucking weeks sometimes. And then if they're not compatible, if they don't get along, then you can't like do anything about it, and it kind of sucks. But anyway.
今日は非番ですからご安心を。
今日ってところね。
今日がどうかしましたか。はて。
It looked like Oishi was ordering something from the owner. I wonder what this old guy wanted from a toy store of all places. Mion was wondering the same. He was teaching him how to do the trick. He was teaching the owner, and she asked him instead of me.
いえね、麻雀のマットを丸めてだいぶ長いことしまっていたせいですっかり反り返ってしまったんです。こたつの板裏もすっかり緑の布が剥げちゃってて使い物にならず困ってたんですよ。
ほう、雀荘じゃなくてご自宅で麻雀ですか。優雅な休日の過ごし方なことで、大方妙な語呂とトラブルでも起こして出禁でも食らったんじゃありません。
Actually, my closest friend got murdered in your fucking village, so I can't go back there without feeling a sense of dread. That's what happened, Mion.
まさかまさかご冗談。公木たるものは遊戯場でも紳士でなくてはいけません。そんなトラブルなんて起こしませんよ。それはさておき、皆さんも麻雀ですか。若い方は麻雀なんかできないと思っていましたよ。
我が部の精鋭を侮ってもらっちゃ困りますね。およそ勝敗のつくものなら種目は問わず、どんな登場であっても背中は向けないのだ。それがたとえ麻雀、パチンコ、競馬、競輪、競艇、果ては書道、聖火、ゲートボールまで何であろうと。
Oh my god.
最後には足を踏み外すと下が溶岩や濃硫酸とかになってるところで戦わされそうなのです。
It would have been really funny if Rika would have said, I think she'll make us fight on the roof of our school someday with weapons, or with a baseball bat and a machete. Just to kind of like throw a little hint at the, you know, at Rena and Keiichi. But also just because it'd be funny for the viewer. Or reader.
大丈夫だリカちゃん。その登場は仮に死んでも単行本が 2,3 冊も進むとひょっこり生き返れる。
圭一さんとリカが何の話をしてるのかさっぱりわかりませんわね。
Okay.
はて、これはどういう場ですか。まだ山を積んでるところですかね。いえ、違うん
ですよ。ツバメ返しの練習なんですよ。
ツバメ返しの練習ですか。いやはや。
この人なんだよ。さっきお昼に来て、
Yeah.
ツバメ返しを見せてくれた人は。
なんだ
って実践じゃできませんがね。まあ芸の一つですよ。
大石さんでしたっけ。ぜひやってみせてくださいよ。俺ぜひともその技をマスターしたいんです。というかマスターしないと今年の冬の部活がヤバそうなんです。
ね。いいですともお見せしますよ。
One of the few positive
あな
interactions.
たは間違えたらごめんなさい。前原屋敷の。
すみません。はい、そうです。引っ越してきたばかりの前原圭一です。こんにちは。
So they hadn't met before, it seems. This is the first time they're meeting, and it's through mahjong.
あ
Okay.
れケイちゃんは初対面？こちらはね、警察の大石さん。綿流しの実行委員会にも警備の顧問として参加してるから、そのうち実行委員会の席で会えるよ。
そうそう聞いてますよ。なんでも相当元気のある方だそうじゃないですか。叩き売りオークションの司会はあなたしかいないと皆さんおっしゃるんで、どんな方かお会いできるのを楽しみにしていたんです。しかし司会とは責任重大だ。よく引き受けられましたね。実に勇気と度胸があります。
ああでも引き受けたからには頑張りますんでよろしくお願いします。前原圭一と申します。どうかよろしくお願いします。
He's so
元気な
polite.
だけでなく、
Yeah.
礼儀正しい若者ですね。
Let's see. Yeah, like Keiichi spoke in like a lot of kanji just now. But yeah, he's just being very, very, very polite.
若いのに感心です。
Hmm.
私は沖宮署の大石と申します。なんならクラちゃんでも結構ですよ。
Yeah, okay, Geraldo.
大石は僕の席でやるといいのですよ。
お、これはすみません。ではちょっくら失礼させていただきます。
He rapidly gathered up the tiles. I could tell that he'd been doing that for a long time.
柔道家は相手の帯の結び方を見るだけで段を知るっていうよな。まさにそんな感じっすね。
ね。はいを積むだけで褒められちゃうとなんだか照れちゃいますね。はい。では皆さんよろしいですか？参りますよ。それ。ちょっと。
All done.
はい。こんな感じですね。
Oh. We all broke out in cheers. You often hear the audience cheer for a big performance on TV, but it really was more impressive seeing it in person. He did it so quickly, too. He made it look so simple that anyone could do it, but everyone here knows that it's very difficult to do. And that's why we were all impressed at how easily he performed the trick.
すごい大石さんすごい。さすがですわね。
すげえです。マジで感動しました。俺に教えてください。もう一度スローで。
いいですよ。では私の真似をしてください。本当はスローの方が難しいんですがね。特に小指に注目しててくださいよ。
Okay, so you do use the pinkies.
まずこうですね。ここまではわかります？それからそこでこう。いえ違います。持ち上げなくていいんです。前へスッとせり出す感じです。
Sliding it forward.
でも押すのとは違う。
何これ? So like, do you lift your hand, put it in front of the tiles, then grab the wall and push it forward on top of the other tiles to then have the others in front of you?
ホバークラフトのようにほんのわずかだけ宙に浮かしてスッと。
ホバークラフトのような気持ちでほんのわずかだけ宙にスッと。
It's weird seeing them with this art. Because yeah, it's set to the other art. Oh god. But going to the original, I guess it's just loading the console sprite. It's whatever.
あくそ。
力は入れなくていいんです。実際は音をさせたらもう失敗なんですからね。無音で忍者のような気持ちでスッとやります。
忍者の気持ちでスッと。もう一回やります。見ててください。
It was strange. I had never seen Keiichi and Oishi play mahjong together.
なんだか圭一くんと大石さんって仲良しになれそうな感じがするね。 やっぱり男同士だと通じるものがあるのでございましょうね。
Oishi usually appears only after Takano and Tomitake get murdered on the night of the Watanagashi. He has only ever appeared on the scene as a detective. He always approached Keiichi as a detective, so he never thought of him as someone he could trust. He only thought of Keiichi as a decoy to expose the culprits among the villagers, or some nonsense like that. So even when you see it, it's hard to believe that Keiichi and Oishi are having a good time together like friends.
ケイイチと大石が仲良しなんて僕も初めて見ますのです。
でしょうね。
Yeah, like even in Onikakushi, Keiichi was more, or saw Oishi more as like someone to try to depend on, while Oishi was just using him the whole time.
私だって初めてだもの。これをどう受け取ればいいのかしら。大石が現れた時、運試しは今日だって思ったのに。
I couldn't understand this world at all. My heart was pounding, and I had the strong feeling that I'd roll a six every time I threw the die. I should roll it again. I think I'll roll a 6 again. I know it before I roll it. I'll know it before I roll it. I will roll that 6. And I will finally defeat my deadly fate.
いらっしゃいませ。あ、いたいた。大井さん、買ってきましたよ。
Is that Kuma? No, it's not Kuma-chan, I think. My heart started racing. The voice sounded so familiar. I had heard it before. But that couldn't be right. Hanyu always warned me. Don't expect too much. It couldn't be him.
ああ、赤坂さん。
Huh? Akusaka is here? You can't see me. My mouth is agape right now, but
ご苦労様です。お店すぐにわかりましたか？
申し訳ありません。すっかり迷ってしまいました。親切な郵便屋さんに声をかけてもらわなかったら、今頃どこまで行ってたやら。
She really is rolling 6s. Oh my god. A young man was standing there. He got a sprite! He finally got a sprite. We got to see him like once through a CG. Through a CG cutscene. Where he was playing Mahjong. Or Mahjong. And here we can finally see what Akusaka looks like. And here he is in the oh my god, he looks so terrible in the console art style. What the fuck is wrong with his neck? Is this one gonna be disgusting? Kind of, yeah. I don't know. This original one is so charming. There's something really cute about it. Because, well, mainly because it's, you know, Ryukishi who did the art. But, I don't know. There's something soulful about this sprite compared to, well, honestly, this one or this one. Anyway. I always thought Akusaka wore a shirt and tie. He also seemed much smaller. He looked at me as I stared at him. Normally, you look away when you make eye contact with a stranger, but we stare at each other without averting our gazes. Fuck.
ということは、やっぱりリカちゃんだね。
え？知り合い？
赤坂さん、フルデさんと面識があったんですか？これは驚いた。
久しぶりだね。
As always, we'll show off the new sprites a little bit. He's smiling in the classic art, and then here he's just like stoic. And then here he's still smiling, but weird.
少し伸びたんじゃないかな。
赤坂こそなんだかたくましくなったようなのです。
This is Mamoru Akasaka. Akasaka, one of those two. He's a detective from the Tokyo Metropolitan Public Safety Department. He sometimes shows up in Hinamizawa in 1978. He has no relation to Hinamizawa or my deadly curse, but outside the village, he's the person I trust the most. I've asked for his help in the past several times, but nothing ever came of it. He's from so far away. He forgets about me once he returns to Tokyo. That's why I'd given up on him.
赤坂はどうしてまたひなみ沢に？
子供を両親の家に預けてね。家内と二人で旅行に来たんだよ。
家内？
うん。君は家内の命の恩人だからね。わからないだろうね。
赤坂さんはもう本当に素晴らしい愛妻家さんでしてね。5年前でしたっけね。沖宮にまではるばる出張に来られたのに、入院中の奥さんのことが急に寂しくなっちゃって仕事を放り出して東京にとんぼ帰りした業のものなんですよ。いやいや、愛のなせる技です。
奥さんとラブラブ、なんだかちょっぴり素敵かな。
あの時リカちゃんが東京に帰らないと良くないことが起こるって言ってくれたじゃないか。どうしても不安になってね、雪江の病院に戻ったんだ。そしたらその日に屋上への階段で清掃員の事故があったって言うんだ。
Right. The tiles on the stairs were loose. The janitor fell down the stairs and got seriously injured. I should say just fell. The janitor fell and got seriously injured. I knew that was going to happen because I had seen him lose his mind after hearing about his wife's death in the life I lived a long time ago. Falling down the stairs seemed like just the luck of the draw. I didn't think it would happen all the time, but it had happened to him over and over. So I thought there must be some kind of reason behind it. I guessed it was because of the broken tiles on the stairs. If he didn't show up at the hospital that day, his wife would have gone up those stairs. It was her daily routine, but she didn't go because he showed up. Meanwhile, the janitor went up the stairs and got injured.
だからリカちゃんは雪江の恩人なんだ。
私はそんなバカなって言ったんですけどね。赤坂さんは女房の恩人に間違いないって言って聞かないんです。今回もあなたにぜひ会いたいって強く要望していましてね。
It's kind of crazy that he just managed to meet us though.
確かにリカってたまに予言じみたことを言いますのよね。
さすがはお社様の生まれ変わりだね。
おっといけない。もうクマちゃんも佐藤さんも来てる時間ですね。赤坂さん、ちょっと急ぎ足で参りましょうか。では前原さん、この続きはまた今度にしましょう。その時はもっと実践で使える技をご教授しますよ。
ええ、ぜひよろしくお願いします。
じゃあまたね、リカちゃん。
赤坂はいつまでこっちにいるのですか？
綿流しのお祭りまでいるつもりだよ。長すぎる夏休みだろ。有給消化率が悪すぎると庶務から怒られてね。山が一つ終わったんで室長から長期休暇を許されたんだ。お祭りにはきっと行くよ。聞くところによるとだいぶ盛大なお祭りになったんだそうだね。
Man, they're really setting this up to be a huge event. Like, Keiichi is going to be doing an auction, then we have Rika's performance, there's going to be tight security, and then we're going to have Akasaka also be there, and he's literally a fucking glowy.
そうなのですよ。赤坂の時のようなただの酒盛りではないのです。
赤坂さん、行きましょう行きましょ
う。君は雪江の恩人だ。借りはきっと返すよ。きっと君の力になる。
I will be killed in June of 1983.
あれから5年、体も鍛えた。経験も積んだ。あの時のような無様な真似は絶対さらさないよ。きっと君の力になれる。
I felt like a rolled A6 without even throwing the die. Akasaka followed Oishi and ran outside into the bright sunlight.
羽生、これも想定内の幸運なのよね。
Kureiji.
生がリカに味方をしているとしか思えないのです。
思えばおもちゃ屋での部活の日、魚釣りゲームという運命を覆した瞬間から、私の戦おうという意志の強まりが運命を揺るがしているということ。
My strong will is going to change my fate. If I have a strong will, I can also change these results. This chapter's been going on for so fucking long. It's been 2.5 hours almost. Anyway, we rode our bikes back home together. I was in a good mood. I almost felt like humming a song. I could feel my deadly fate slowly falling to pieces. I felt like my fate was urging me to move on. Just like the sun and the moon during an eclipse, the wheels of my fortune were perfectly matched for the first time in a long time. This really might have been a miracle. This wasn't like the true miracle of Keiichi remembering the past. It was good fortune with expectations, but when it was arranged this well, it was enough to be considered a miracle. I can remember the last time I felt so good in June of 1983. My name is Rika Furude. My ominous fate was moving away from me. With each step I took, that deadly fate withdrew further and further. I'd have to stay strong and take advantage of this miracle. I moved forward at high speed. Watanagashi was so close. My luck and effort had brought about a miracle. And so, I will defeat my fate.
今度こそ、今度こそ。
ファイトおーなのですよ。
The next moment, something happened. Keiichi had accidentally scratched a motorcycle that was parked by the street, and a group of 3 delinquents were trying to intimidate him.
大変なことになりましたのです。
見てなさい。今の私の力なら、あんな連中、ひとひねりにしてやるわ。
Imagine they kill Rika like right now. Like it's game over. We have to restart.
困りましたわね。おまわりさんを呼ばないといけませんわよね。大丈夫ですよ、さとこ。僕にお任せなのです。リカ？リカ？
I walked toward the delinquents even as they grabbed Keiichi by his collar. What the hell are these pathetic guys? They trying to stand in my way when I'm trying to have a happy future? I should teach them that nothing can stop me now. I know I'm rolling a 6 without even throwing a die. They continue to grab Keiichi's shirt. Keiichi, Mion, and Rena were staring at them with vicious looks in their eyes. I get in between them.
消え失せろ。私の運命をその程度で邪魔立てできると夢にも思うな。
I plucked his nose with my fingers again. He never expected that a little girl like me would attack him. He seemed surprised, but he quickly returned to being angry. Then he picks me up by the collar too.
リカちゃん、やめなさいよ、話しなさい。リカ、何か策でもあるのですか？
別にないわよ。でも今の私の強さなら、こんな障害は物の数じゃないことを証明してみせるの。この程度の運命にも勝てない運気なら、今回も死の運命になど打ち勝てるものか。
I rolled a die knowing what I was going to get. I knew that I'd be rolling a 6. The next moment, 2 men in working overalls came up to the 3 delinquents and tapped them on the shoulders.
兄ちゃん、話したったん。相手は子供やんね。安城か。
なんだよてめえは。俺たちは喧嘩を売られたんだぞ。お前らなんざ用はねえよ。
Those working men weren't just random people who were passing by. I knew who they were.
まあ、そっちで話そうやんね。ほら。
Why don't you follow us into the little alleyway that's right here? One of the men pushed the 3 delinquents to the side of the street. The other man spoke to me in a calm voice.
大丈夫ですか？リカさん。
ありがとうなのですよ。助かりましたです。
He let me his hand so I could stand up.
皆さんはもう行ってください。あとは私たちが処理します。
どなたか知りませんが、ありがとうございます。
本当にお任せしちゃっても大丈夫ですか？
ええ、気にしないで皆さんは早く行ってください。
本当にありがとうございます。
うちの圭一さんが無様で申し訳ありませんわね。
He had to be saved by an 11-year-old girl.
じゃあ行こうみんな。
We got back on our bikes in a hurry and left the scene. They had no idea who saved us. But we're glad. Jesus fuck. They had no idea who saved us, but we're glad that all of us were safe. But I knew who they were. Those must have been the security guards who work for Takano. Right. Takano kept her promise. Those guys are professional bodyguards. They only do what they're ordered to, but they make sure their mission is complete. If Takano told them to protect me, that's the best protection I can get. So she is being followed. After we left the scene, a white van with 2 men in it followed us. They're calling her R instead of Rika. Everything was working in my favor for the first time ever. The pedals seemed so light that day. Felt like I could fly into the sky if I wanted to. Aw, what a sweet ending. Ryukishi is doing a really good job at distracting you from the fact that that Rika is gonna die in like 2 days. Well, more like 4. He almost got you, didn't he? Making you think that everything else is like hunky-dory. Akusaka's here. Everyone's getting along. She has bodyguards. And she's gonna die soon. Before the flight. Huh? What is this creature doing here? Oh, that's right, she's still alive.
これが航空券だ。後の金は現地だ。
大きに大きに。おい、マミャン。
サンキュー。私、札幌って一度行ってみたかったのよね。
That other voice sounded familiar.
北条の野郎にゃ、気取られてねえだろうな。
大丈夫だよ。あいつバカだもん。でかいのは声と態度だけ。
Ojo. Like, Pepe? Hmm.
そうなのかよ。
The next moment, they heard several cars coming towards them. The man looked out the window and saw 3 black cars screeching to a halt by the apartment building. Several intimidating men emerged from those cars. Some of them even looked up toward the window. He quickly hid himself behind the curtain.
ちくしょ、鍵つけやがった。ずらかれ。
ちょっと、嘘マジ？なんで今日バレるのよ。
マミヤン、ボケっとすんな。捕まったら殺されんぞ。
Is this Keiichi's voice actor? They heard the man running up the stairs. They sounded angry. What? Eh? Huh? That's it? That's like the shortest tip we've had. I think ever. That was like 2 paragraphs. Hey, here's the money. Yeah, Hojo's a fucking idiot. Oh man, they're here. Shit, we gotta go. What? Anyway, I think this is a good stopping point for today. So, let's go ahead and get ready to swap on over to the ending screen.